is up, YouTube? So today I decided I was on Marketplace earlier and I bought something. So I've seen this for sale for well over a year on Marketplace, but the price luckily kept coming down. Kid was only asking 45 bucks for it, so couldn't complain. But I'll show you when I get back home of what I bought. And there she is. It's Kawasaki. I'm not sure what year. I'm gonna have to check the VIN later on, but not bad for 45 bucks. I mean, it came with radiators, triple clamps, rear shock, basically the whole rear end, which is nice. And it seems to be in okay shape. Engine-wise, I don't know what I want to put in this thing if I decide to do anything with it. But for now, it's just something I can kind of tinker on and then decide exactly what I want to do with it. So the first time I checked the VIN, it came up as a 2018 Kawasaki Null, which is not even close to what this is. So Null's basically a street bike, this is a dirt bike. So sometimes VIN check isn't correct, or at least the one I tried. I've used it in the past and it worked, but this time it didn't, so I'm gonna have to look up what year this is exactly and then figure it out from there. First thing I'm gonna do is spray down all the bolts because some of them are pretty rusted and I just want them to come out. But the swing arm bolt actually is not stuck, which is really cool. The shock seems to be fine, also really cool, and the actual radiators really aren't that bad. Like, there's a slight bend on the left one, but nothing major, which is actually really cool. But I'll get to spraying stuff, then slowly pulling parts off. Nothing is really tight as the triple clamps. I mean, I don't know why they're that tight. I don't think it's the bearing. Still got the seal on it, so I think somebody torqued it really tight for whatever reason. But you see the radiators don't look bad. It's mostly right here, just have that lower portion, but the rest of them, they're actually pretty straight for what they are, which I think is crazy. And I need a new can of WD-40. Just spray down everything. I mean, why not? Never know, especially this bolt, but damn can's out of spray. Just about. Not that some of the stuff needs to be sprayed, because some of it looks like it'll come apart, but I'm not taking any chances with something this old. Just spray it all. I did just notice that the actual engine mount itself is broken here. This one I have no idea how the condition is, but I'm going to probably replace those anyways if I decide to put something different in it. So I checked all the spokes on the tire. They actually seem to be pretty good. Maybe one or two are kind of loose, a little worn out, but stuff like the caliper, the bracket, the swing arm itself, all this stuff's actually going to blast up really well, make it look actually shiny again. And like that bolt slid right out, which is awesome. So some of it's just going to come right apart. Some of it won't. But I mean, stuff has been sitting for many years. Like I said, I got this for 45 bucks, so I can't really complain. Especially if the rear shock's actually good, which is a huge plus, and the radiators really aren't that bad. Whereas right now, the first thing I want to do is actually get the triple clamps off and see why they're so tight. I gotta get that loose, and it's still got a lot of friction on it for some reason. I can't imagine it being rusted that bad. Come off. Otherwise, they're still in good shape, so I might just clean these up and reuse them. Who knows? And of course, that's torque to the max. I don't have the right tool for this, but vice grips do work as long as you get the right ones. Not recommended, but if it works, it works. I'm kind of afraid to think that these actually are seized in there. Well, that's coming up pretty easily. Yeah, I released some of the pressure. It's still really tight. Guaranteed water got inside and froze it. Would not be surprised. Oh, one more thing I need. For the hell of it, I'll try to rub them out and see if I can smash it out and get a little leverage. Well, that's crazy. Oh yeah. Look at all that water they got in there. frozen right up. Rock solid. But it came out, so that's a huge plus. Yeah, that bearing's not bad. Actually does spin, the other one's completely frozen. Next I'll work on getting the radiators off, because they should come off pretty simply, or pretty easily at least. This side's already, well not this side, this side. So I've only got one bolt holding on, I think. Bolts are still clean too. Like I said, I'm just going to strip the whole thing down. I want to be able to look at everything, diagnose the frame, see what other kind of damage I can find, if any. These radiators are reusable by the looks of it. I'll probably pressure test them anyways, just for the hell of it, to check and see if there's any holes anywhere. It would suck to think that there's no pinholes in anything, or to find one. Jesus. It's always something. So it takes us a little bit of finagling. Yeah, overall, does not look bad. I mean, a little bit of scuff wear in there, but this one's in really good shape. If these are original, that's even more crazy. This one, these are one more bolt holding it on. Yep. Not too bad. See, this part's, well, that little tab's bent a little bit. And this side got hit a little bit. Not much. Still usable. Oh, that came off pretty easily. See what I mean by took a hit? That's crazy, I didn't even see that. Bolt or something can't sit on there and I can bash through. I don't want to hit this wrong. Mush me over. That's all I do. So next I get the actual rear brake off, and luckily enough I already tested the bolt. It's pretty loose as it was. Should just slip right off. Yeah, this thing's coming apart rather easily. Chalk out, because this bolt I already checked it was already loose. Slides right out. Save the bottom one, or top one I should say. Look at that. It's coming together apart really easily. Not too bad. Looks to be in good shape. Just needs a good clean up, really. linkage moves pretty good, which is not bad. And it looks like it's actually in good shape. If you actually look at it, it looks like it's not destroyed or beaten. Usually these things are flattened right out. Some of these are actually not bad. So I was just actually looking at this now. I can get a look at it and look how cracked that is. And you can actually flex it. Not you can tell on camera, but so that needs to be addressed. I'm looking at spots like this too, just in case, because this is like a buildup of gunk and paint. But I guarantee it's just a motor amount. I'm going to double check this one, check back here, and then check around the swing arm just in case. So I'll probably just pull this linkage off after, because the swing arm bolt's already loose. I'll just take the swing arm off. Now they're going to come off. Maybe. Surprising that was such a loose. But overall, this don't look too bad. Normally they are destroyed, especially around the actual sprocket, which this looks really good shape. That's crazy. But I'll keep looking over everything, especially when I start cleaning things. See, that plate's bent. But that's just a wear part anyways. Wear item. Get the linkage off, the subframe off, and then get some of the bolts off, and that should be good for stripping it. Tensions up. It's because this bolt feels like it might be stripped out. It's coming out really rough. I couldn't get my actual ratchet in there. But it's going out now. It was really tight. And this bolt space is stripped already, so somebody tried pulling it out or putting it in and messed it all up. Alright, just stop. Hard to tell, really. Clean it off. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at those threads. Won't focus on my hands, will it? Probably not. Look at those threads. Flattened right over on half of them at least. So of course I was trying to get the subframe off and tried a 10mm bolt, 10mm socket millimeter. It would fit, but the bolt is not a 10mm. I've got a 7/16 here, but that don't fit on either side. So I'm gonna have to grind that down so I can make that fit, so I can get it off, because that really sucks. I'll probably throw a 10mm bolt in there, millimeter bolt in there, so I can actually get in there a lot easier than having this issue. Moment of truth, see if it fits. Nice. But now that means I'm probably gonna put one on the other side, which I don't think I have another socket right now. I'll have to try something, maybe jam a flathead in this side to kind of pin it, hold it, and pull it out of this side. Well, she's all apart. I'm gonna end up getting everything on the bench and check everything out, especially clean everything to the swing arm, because I really want to check the swing arm out, because it looks to be in really good shape, which is wild. Same with the linkage. I mean, if you look at that, it's not bad. No crazy flat spots, no scratches, which is wild. Triple clamps too look pretty good, other than the bearing being bad. Shock actually looks really good, which is crazy. But I also need to diagnose the frame, because I'm gonna end up stripping all this paint off, because I need to check all the rust, all the welds, all the cracks. Found a few cracks so far. I guarantee there's gonna be more. Got everything on the bench, everything kind of laid up. This is basically everything that came with, but I can at least get stuff checked out, cleaned up, removed, especially all the bearings, because I know the bearings in here are shot. This bearing's gone. I'll also do new swing arm bearings as well. It's because I guarantee they're bad. Clamps themselves, I need to remove this bearing too. This one's actually seized. Brake calipers, yeah. What the? It looks like it's actually missing the other brake pad, which is crazy to think or to find. Wheels, the actual axle, I think is seized in with the bearings. It does move, just slightly. Same with these ones. Guarantee these ones are actually probably not too bad. Swing arm bearings, I guarantee again, are probably gone. But I did check out the actual subframe, and it looks to be pretty straight, which is really, really good. And it looks to be pretty good to me. We'll have to double check anyways. Want to really overlook everything. And the frame especially needs some attention, like right down here. Because if I do an engine swap, this did have a 2-stroke in it, so in a way kind of limited if I do an engine swap, or if I want to try to get different 2-stroke and throw it in here. But this needs to be addressed, especially because this side is cracked like halfway through that bar now. But strip all this paint, because it just looks like hell as well. I think this is the original paint up here, and then someone just spray bombed the hell out of this. But that is what I got going so far. The spring I think will clean up really well. There's a little bit of scuff in there. Nothing major. And the radiators, I might just try to, straighten some of these out. See where those go. What else? Bunch of bolts. I'll obviously replace all the bolts because I have, oh, that's bolts, washers, nuts, spacers, the works. And triple clamps, like I said, I may not even use these. If I do decide to rebuild this bike, I probably want to update the forks. Put modern forks on so they're actually a lot more stronger beef and can handle the weight. But that is it for now. I'm going to actually start washing things here and there. So slowly off camera, I'm trying to get everything kind of prepared. Make sure I get all the bolts out. I'm going to get this caliper apart. But I'm taking the swing arm all apart now. And what I was talking about earlier is how that rubber, chain guide was on here. And it wasn't worn through, but just look at that. Normally, I had a CRF, where I don't even know, 250 at one point, but the chain was just ripped right through this, almost all the way to the bearing. And this being as old as it is, if it is actually an 88, 89, that's amazing. That is amazing. Of course, the bearings are rust and worn out, but look at these bearings. They actually look pretty good, the collars themselves. Still pretty clean on that one. This one, a little bit different, but still not bad. Again, for the year, that's pretty wild. I still gotta get the other linkage off too, but just got the linkage out. I actually just about to pull this out. I want to see how clean it is or dirty. But it's sliding out, and oh wow, look at that. I use my left hand to get it out, maybe. Wow, that's like brand new. There's no way that's stock. Like, it looks like somebody replaced these at one point, but that's awesome. Sadly, I'll still buy new bearings, but just to think about, that's pretty cool. Compared to the other two, that's immaculate right there. Nice and clean. Another wild thing is these actual bolts came out. So normally, depending on, if they're corroded or not, these things get stuck in here and absolutely seize in here, which is absolutely annoying. I had that happen to my Raptor 660 years ago, but these ones backed right out like it was nothing. Again, I think this bike was definitely worth the money. I mean, 45 bucks, I'm not complaining so far. As you can tell by the brake fluid, that was definitely in need of a change. There's a rust pocket that came out of it, actually, which is pretty wild. I'll get that apart next, and then all this apart. What's after that? Probably try to get the wheel apart as much as I can, at least. I don't know about the tire yet. I'm going to wait up for that. As of now, the only thing that's giving me trouble, or only a few things that's giving me trouble, is the rear caliper. The bolts are stuck. So I was afraid of this because they're Phillips heads, and it's also into aluminum. I had a feeling they might be stuck, so I had to spray them. I did tap them and hammer them, but I need to grab a torch probably tomorrow because these ones are not coming out. I even have my trusty impact set on the highest setting, and I don't trust it because I don't want these stripping out. No one can ever use these possibly, but if I strip them, I don't want to have to deal with trying to extract them. And then tire, I'll probably maybe get off another time. I'll probably put it in front of the heater so that way it warms up and I can compress it, pull it out. And I can start moving all the spokes, get to the hub, move the bearings. And I can get this all vaporized and cleaned up as well as all the aluminum stuff. Another good thing I like to do is actually clean stuff like this because it's just covered in crap. Gasoline works really good. Like stuff like this, you'll just bust right through that, get all that cleaned off. And I degrease everything, vapor blast, and coat it, and have all this stuff packed up, ready to go. Whenever I decide to start reinstalling it, when I get the frame all taken care of, I'm going to strip all the paint, and then I might paint it come spring. It won't be anytime soon, and then address obviously the cracks on the frame and the engine mounts, because this one's already broken and cracked, and then this one, it depends, because I've been looking into motors, and of course, looking for an engine, you have to look on eBay, and look at that. eBay, I can't find a full engine for this thing anyway, so it's like all in parts. Give you guys a little bit closer look on the rear shock, and it's looking pretty good. Like down here, there's a little bit of scuffing, but not like no dents, no dings. It's not broken. A little bit of wear here and there, but otherwise it's in really good shape for what it is. Obviously, I'll probably attempt to actually rebuild it in the future. I've never rebuilt the rear shock before, but I feel like this one's a good start, and bearing's a little worn on that one. I don't know about this one yet. Top's tight, bottom's a little worn out, but you know, look at the paint on the shock. Still pretty good, other than obviously naturally the top and the bottom is where it rusts most. So that's not too bad. Or I could even just, you know, pay somebody to do it and send it out, but I kind of want to do this myself. Learn more about stuff as far as the shocks go and whatever forks I decide to get. I want to get probably some modern forks just because I want this thing to ride smooth when I get it done. And obviously new wheels maybe. I think this one's still good, but it's old, it's aluminum, so I definitely want to check to make sure there's no cracks anywhere inside here. So if they crack usually on the inside of the case, not the case, but the wheel here somewhere around with these spokes. But most of these sound pretty tight, which is crazy. On this thing, I don't even know how old this tire is. But I'm going to keep this tire and just hang out in my room. Little ornament for my room. I've got these parts cleaned up a little bit, gave them kind of a little gasoline bath, and they turned out pretty well. At least for the time being. But I still get the bearing off, clean the shaft. And then eventually, I don't think I'm going to do it today, but I'm going to vape blast everything just because it's all aluminum, except for these. These are steel. I'll end up stripping the paint on these, then spraying them down eventually. But that's the progress so far. I was able to get the rear shock apart, at least get the coil off, but there is more damage, definitely to these threads. I don't know if it'll focus, but the first time I had to actually pull them up to get the compression off the actual spring, but they didn't want to move hardly at all. And of course, it's pretty well damaged as it is. I mean, look at that. Honestly, I could reuse it, which I may just reuse it and re-zinc coat it, but just file it down on the edges so it's not sharp and it looks clean. Same with this one. Not as bad, but at least clean it up, because, I mean, if it's reusable, might as well just reuse it. Luckily, the actual color itself is fine. Coil is fine, too. Seems to be. I don't think I found any other damage on this. It's just dirty now. So, next, get that cleaned up, and then put it in the pile for stuff to be vape blasted. And then tomorrow, I need to get my torch out, because these bolts are pretty well stuck in there. Which I was afraid of that, but look how bad the caliper is. Not really the caliper itself, but the piston. I don't know how someone could even do that, honestly. But hopefully that's replaceable, at least. If not rebuildable, I should say. I don't want to have to replace it if I don't need to. And the radiators, I got all the bushings out. So those are ready to be vape blasted. And I'll straighten all the fins, or at least try. Because again, these can still be used. I'm about to get ready to vape blast these parts, as well as the shock parts. Again, these are zinc coated and stripping, well, the vape blaster will strip it off. But that's a-okay because I want to eventually get into my own coatings, zinc coating and whatnot, and I think I want to do gold like this is, just so I can bring the shine back. But I'll get started probably the small parts just to kind of check and see exactly how it's going to work out. There's damage on these blocks, but not too bad for this age. So that was the first pass, just using 80 grit. And it turned out pretty decent, I'd say. The triple clamp looks really good. Everything's still kind of drying up as it is too, but see with these blocks, I'm probably going to end up actually getting a bench grinder myself, and then just kind of taking away, well, picking away at this, flattening it back out like it should be. Same with this one. Otherwise, everything else turned out really well. But I guess that's good for vape blast for now. I got my torch, my drill, my Phillips tip. I'm going to attempt to get this rotor off, because when I pull the rotor off, I'm probably going to clean the screws, take the bearings out, remove the axle in the center, and I might try to get the tire off today. And that is success. Get the first one out. These are thread locked, so that's the reason why they're really tight, but I'll get the rest off, and then hopefully this pops right off. Got the bearings out, and goddamn, they give me a hard time. I say it's the outside, but the inside. They definitely need to be repaired, rebuilt, not rebuilt, replaced. They do move freely, but the actual axle is full of rust. And I had this little clip I had a hard time getting out. But next will be the tire off that. Of course, now that everything's thawing out. It's like 50 degrees today, but now got the water coming out of there. This is full of water. So I definitely gotta get this taken off. I might even just drill a hole in it, honestly. Let it drain. So I've been doing a little closer inspection on the actual subframe, and it's not too bad so far. There's a few spots, like let's say rib nuts like this one, and this one back here, they actually are definitely worn out. So I got holes on the back side. And sadly, let's say if you go to try to pull these out for focus, normally what they'll do is let's say you grab the tops off, they'll fall inside, you can't get them back out. So what I'm gonna try to do is actually thread in some bolts, because I have a ton of junk bolts down there. Thread one in, I'm gonna try to chop around it so I can still maybe pull it out, and if not, then I'm gonna have to just kind of let them go inside, because I need to replace these. Like, I don't want to have to deal with these as they are. And maybe there's a chance I can get the other ones out. Honestly, doubt it, but we'll see. Then I can actually take it, clean all this, and then vapor blast it. So as of right now, engine-wise, I'm still thinking of what I want to use. If I want to go with two-stroke, I can. If I want to go with something modern, I can. It just depends on, budget, and then also configuration, making it fit in that frame. But I'd like to have my own dirt bike. I've never really actually owned a dirt bike, other than a DRZ 125, and that thing. It was my buddy's old DRZ, and it was just absolutely garbage. It was fun for the time I had it, but it was underpowered, really small, and just in really bad shape. But with this one, basically, I almost got it for free. $4 to $5, this isn't a problem. And then a lot of it's coming apart really well, which is even more crazy to me because of how old it is. But I had it was an 85 kx250, and that thing was really bad, like bad. And a lot of it was cracked, broken. Found out the engine case was actually broken in 4 different spots around the sprocket, so yeah, that sucked. But this one, I think I can do a lot better with it. But for now, I think I'll leave that as just part one. I'm going to go around just keep diagnosing things, looking at things. I still got to strip the paint on a lot of things too, like the radiators. I got to vape blast those, the frame, I'm going to strip all the paint off. Got to vape blast, everything else. And a lot of that I'll just do off camera anyways, because it's going to take a while. And then I'm going to start sourcing parts, and then check on the price of everything. But I still haven't decided if I actually want to do like a full engine swap, or if I want to restore it. Because if I restore it, it's going to take me many months to do that, because getting the engine alone, I couldn't find a full engine. It's all in pieces, and it doesn't have everything on eBay. So that kind of is unfortunate. But if I thought about if I do an engine swap, if I do an engine swap but do not cut the frame anywhere, if I don't cut the frame anywhere, I can just do everything swap in, and I can still collect the parts over time. And when I decide to fully restore this thing, I can just put all the parts on, restore it, and then have this a full KX250. Which is kind of what I want, because I want to be able to restore it eventually to its prime, or what I'm going to call prime. But I guess that's it for part one. Part two might not be for a while, to be honest.